Sydney Johnson, and I am here at Chapter Cardiff for the hit comedy show that is performing tonight called Empty Orchestra. I've interviewed some of the cast and also the organizers of the show to learn more about how this show combines comedy and also improv dance into one show.
The emphasis behind the dance is that each dancer takes their turn at the mic whilst the remaining two become backing dancers, lip-singing and encouraging each other into the spotlight. I got a chance to speak with Lewis and Ellie, who are the organizers of the show Empty Orchestra, which explores the vulnerability, power, and uncomfortable feelings of cringe inherent to karaoke.
Yeah, so I've been working in dance for about over 10 years, a long time. And yeah, I've always been dancing since I was young, studied dance at university. In this project, I'm rehearsal director, which is kind of a newish role, which I really enjoy, sort of being very involved, but also being on the outside. So I get to sort of like exercise my performing brain and my choreographic brain and my sort of reflective brain.
Realised that maybe I'd be interested in dance, so I started dancing at university, which I was sort of lucky enough to be given a chance to start a whole career or a whole new discipline from scratch at university. But over the course of that study, I sort of carved out an interest in improvised dance and improvised comedy, improvised theatre, sort of theatrical productions which had a bit of humour and lightness, but also managed to touch on larger issues, societal issues, emotional textures, doing it all with a sort of tongue-in-cheekness. Or we started making this show with two performers who I've worked with in other contexts, Inari and Luke, who are probably in the cafe. We actually came to Chapter to do some of the research and development for that in 2021, and now we're very happy to be bringing it here to perform tonight. It's not obvious the power that it might have, or the value of it is sometimes quite hard to articulate. So I really love to bring this sort of light energy, this playfulness, this sort of immediacy of improvisation, the sort of fun stuff into it.
Two of the dancers that I interviewed who are a part of Empty Orchestra were able to give me insight on what it was like to incorporate comedy and karaoke into dance for the very first time in their career.
I need to get one.
It's a funny way of blurring professional life with who your community are. They all become one, and you work with your friends. So my friends are people I work with. I met my partner at ballet school. Now we have some babies. So it's been a kind of, it's informed a lot about who my community is, who the people around me are, who my family now are, all kind of dances woven into that. I was actually just thinking as we were here setting up how lovely it is to be at work with friends, with my kid running around on the stage and sitting here now, it's just, I really enjoy that and what it sort of...
The other thing about karaoke brings this like format of like taking turns, which I think Lewis was also interested in the beginning, and we were thinking about that sort of being there since the beginning, this sort of format or like a structure of like the one person gets up at once and then you take turns to be in the limelight, I guess, and then like this sort of more choreographic interest into like, okay, what do the other two people do? So we have this sort of kind of like backing dancers, but in a bit bizarre way, like sort of that's been one thing, like smashing together the contemporary dance or choreographic or improvisational dance approach, and then the like very basic format of karaoke where you have the karaoke station and limelight and you get up and you're like, oh god, I thought I knew this song, and it's so...
Empty Orchestra provides a new meaning to performing and creates a space for audience members to laugh, feel inspired, and feel vulnerable. By twisting the boundaries of dance and theater, this production bridges the gap between audience members and performers and makes a fun twist on the uncomfortable feelings that surround cringe inherent karaoke. By doing so, audience members are inspired to uplift their inner self and feel in tune with performers that are pushing themselves into the spotlight.